Welcome to the Second Scoop, where we talk about the latest gun news of the week. I'm Cheng, and I'm throwing caution into the wind by attempting to bring some humor, commentary, and insight into this week's big gun news. Our leadoff story is the midterm election results. According to CBSNews.com, the NRA achieved a 95% return on its investments, with pro-gun candidates being elected to multiple offices nationwide. This is fantastic news, and with Senate Majority Mitch McConnell at the helm, it's unlikely that any anti-gun legislation will be considered in this next Congress. But now that we know that Congress won't be bringing up any anti-gun legislation, it seems like Congress won't be bringing up much legislation, period. This Congress is shaping up to be the worst Congress on record, passing 10% fewer bills than the previous Congress, and that Congress had already earned the title of worst Congress on record. We can add that to the list of other things Congress probably won't be bringing up, like immigration reform, tax reform, non-discrimination workplace protections, and pretty much everything the government runs. Sometimes I wonder what really keeps our government running. 2014 marks the 20th anniversary of Senator Dianne Feinstein's assault weapons ban. Her ban was in effect from 1994 to 2004, and yet multiple studies have concluded that the ban had no discernible effect on reducing crime. We cannot clearly credit the ban with any of the nation's recent drop in gun violence. A Department of Justice-funded study concluded in 2004, should it be renewed, the ban's effects on gun violence are likely to be small at best and perhaps too small for reliable measurement. So here we have yet another example of how bans in America do not work. We tried it with alcohol, voting, same-sex marriage, and sugary sodas. Senator Feinstein has continued trying to get her assault weapons ban reauthorized, but as previously noted, it's unlikely that her bill will gain any sort of attention through 2016. In our next story, multiple media outlets have reported gun sales have spiked in Ferguson, Missouri, pending the Michael Brown grand jury result being announced soon. Brown was a teenager who was shot to death by a Ferguson police officer, and the event has stoked tense off and on riots since August. Gun stores are seeing increased sales due to residents preparing for a worst-case scenario where additional riots break out and the police are unable to protect innocent citizens. This harkens back to 1992 in Los Angeles, where the Rodney King acquittal sparked multiple days of riots and the National Guard had to be called in to control the situation. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of this in Ferguson, but I'm also glad that some citizens are preparing for the worst, yet hoping for the best. The grand jury has until January to make a decision, but it's possible that an announcement could come anytime today up until then. Let's hope that whatever the result, peace and calm will prevail. In this week's segment of A Good Guy with a Gun, courtesy of gunsavelives.net, we go to Barnhart, Missouri, where a 23-year-old grocery store employee had to defend himself against attack. An apparently intoxicated 48-year-old Robert Lawson was causing a disruption at Carsh's Village Market and was escorted from the store. Outside, a disagreement ensued, and Lawson pulled a gun on a 23-year-old store employee. The employee, however, was a licensed carry conceal holder. He drew his pistol and defended himself by shooting Lawson, who was pronounced dead at the scene. Thank goodness the good guys were able to defend themselves before the police arrived. Finally, this week's video of the week goes to one of my friends, Jerry Miculek. Now, if you don't know who Jerry Miculek is, he is just simply an incredible shooter. In this video, he takes a 9mm revolver and shoots a 1,000-yard target, which is simply incredible to do that with a 9mm round. The video has close to 1 million views, and so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Well, that does it for this segment of The Second Scoop. Come back next Tuesday for another scoop of the week's gun news. And finally, happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all the men and women who have served in uniform.